This wonderful Sunday morning here at Salt and Light Christian Church. The story that I will be telling this morning is about the hymn, Trust and Obey. So this hymn was written in 1887, and it's kind of interesting. It was written by a few different people. The main person who made the melody for the hymn was a man named Daniel Towner. As a young man, Daniel was quite enthralled by music. He loved music, and he got this passion from his father, who was a renowned musician for his time. And as a young man, he was put through a musical education, being taught by several very talented and renowned musicians. And when he became of age, when he became a man, he began his ministry by leading the worship ministry for his church in New York. As his ministry grew, he spread through many churches through Ohio, New York, and even into Kentucky, where he went around leading the ministry and the worship. And through this ministry, he eventually met the evangelist D.L. Moody. You probably recognize his name. And they became pretty good friends, and they began traveling together. He went with Moody on his evangelistic travels. And at one meeting in Massachusetts, a young man who was there, who came to Christ that night, at that meeting, stood up and he said, "I'm not completely sure, but I know that I will trust and I will obey." And Towner wrote down this little phrase, this sentence, and he sent it off with a story to a pastor friend of his, Pastor Samus, who ended up writing a poem, which are the words to this hymn, Trust and Obey, that he sent back to Towner. And then, when he received the poem back, he immediately began working on compiling the melody that would fit the words. There's a story about him writing this hymn that goes kind of like one night when he was struggling to compose this melody. He got frustrated and discouraged, and he crumpled up his paper that he had been working on, and he threw it in the wastebasket and went to bed kind of upset. And it wasn't until the next morning that his wife was tidying up his office. She found the crumpled up piece of paper and uncrumpled it and read it and kind of sung the melody to herself. And she liked it so much that she put it on his organ and persuaded him to continue working on it by saying that this melody is the right means for the message of the song to be conveyed. And so we see he ended up finishing the song, and we have it today as we know, the song Trust and Obey. He went on after this to become the music leader at the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago. And he wrote several other hymns that we know and love today, such as Out at Calvary and Grace that covers all our sins. And so we see that he, throughout his whole life, had not just a passion for music, but a passion for worshiping God through his music. And God used his talents to give us a lot of awesome hymns. So thank you. Let's bring the music up.